How many people would you like to have in your defensive line rotation?
As many as Coach Rule allows me to have. But try to rotate 10 guys. 8 to 10 guys is what I like to rotate.
How important is that just to have that kind of rotation to keep, like I think Brian was talking about, just to keep guys fresh?
I think it's really important. You want to constantly get pressure on the quarterback. You want to constantly have guys that's fresh in the fourth quarter. And we want to get shutouts in the fourth quarter. In order to do that, you got to have fresh D linemen to do that.
Who are you rotating at the interior guys?
The interior, I mean, we got a bunch of guys. You have Ira, who's doing a heck of a job. You got Mike Johnson. You got Hunt. You have KJ to get some reps in there. You have Greg to get reps. You got Bravion. We have a few young guys that's pushing guys. So right now we got a long ways to go before the first game. So we continue to see who's the best right now and who's improving every day.
How much more does this team need to improve before next Saturday?
There's always something you can get better at. We got a lot of days of practice left in front of us. So there's a lot of things we can get better at that we can continue to improve on.
And how about the ends rotation?
Same thing. Like I said, you have KJ, you have Nance, you have Xavier's doing a heck of a job. You have Jamie Jacobs, you have Deontay Williams that's now with us at the line. Then you have the young guys that came in that's also doing a heck of a job. So we're going to rotate those guys until we have to make a decision who's going to be the guys who's going to play for us this year.
Coach, has Bravion come all the way back from the injury he had last year?
I know he's continuing to always go in and work on his injury. He's been practicing hard. He hasn't missed any days for us. So I think he's been doing well as far as that.
What's it been like, Coach, for you coming in this year? You got leaders like KJ and Brian in that room that you kind of have to win over yourself before you can kind of win over the rest of them.
Well, I think it all starts with trust, And what I say, I have to mean it. They have to know that, and they also know what they say. They have to mean it, and it's all about being accountable. And they have to be accountable. I have to be accountable, and we all have that same standard. So, like I said, we have an oath as far as the players and the coaches, and I can't ask those guys to do something that I'm not going to do. So we gotta abide by that player-coach's oath.
How much has it helped coming in with guys like that? You can point to them and they can kind of lead the young guys by example?
I'll tell you what, man. It's been a committee of leaders in that room. I'm pleased with that room as far as just the character of those guys and how hard they work. You talk about the two seniors we have, but you have some younger guys that's also leaders like Ira, as well as Nance and KJ. But those guys are doing a heck of a job. I'm proud of those guys.
What's that meant to have Nance back? I mean, I know you didn't have him last year,
Yeah.
but I mean, what's that been like to have him back in the room, back with those guys?
Well, I mean, it shows you how much his peers appreciate him, for voting him as a single-digit guy. And I don't think it just has to do with his athletic ability. It has to do with the type of person he is and what he stands for. So he's a coach's blessing to have in the room, just as a person. He's a great kid and he works hard. He's a leader. So I like that out of Nance.
Is that pretty inspiring to you to see a guy who's been through that kind of journey?
Man, I love guys with a story. Everyone has a story, and I think he has a heck of a story. And like I say, he carries himself the right way.
What do you expect out of these guys, out of your defensive line?
I just expect them to compete every day. That's all I can ask of them is go out and compete every day. No expectations. I want to be this or be that. Have your goals, but we want to first play for each other, and then just have great expectations and play by our standard. And that's all we can do.
Coach said how important it is to get a rush from the front four and not having to blitz a lot. You feel like you can get that out of these guys?
Those guys are working at it every day. I'll tell you that. They're working at it every day. They get better and better. So we continue to work on the pass rush. Like Coach said, we got to get a four-man rush. It has to happen.
Coach, you said you'd like to have 8 to 10 in the rotation. Do you have 8 to 10 guys you're comfortable putting in? Do you have 8 to 10 that are close?
I'm rotating every guy, every defensive line we have right now in practice. So right now, I've been rotating up to 12 to 15 guys. And like I said, it's a long season. Things happen. You may not play someone the first 3 games. They may have to play later on in the season. So you got to get everybody ready, and that way they're going to have to play at some point.
How much improvement have you seen from the defensive line as a whole over spring practice and fall practice?
I think we came a long way. Still got a lot of work to do, but those guys have improved and continue to improve. Like I said, I think one guy that stood out to me is Ira Lewis, and just how hard he's been going. He's made tremendous strides since I first got here. And he's doing a heck of a job.
When it's 3rd and 5 in the fourth quarter, who are you expecting, or who do you anticipate to be the guy that can get to the quarterback the most?
It depends. It depends on the game. It depends on the situation. It depends on what Coach Snow calls. We'll have a bunch of different things that we'll try to work to get the best rushers on the field. That's the D-line. We'll see what happens.
Having a veteran like KJ who's very experienced, been there before. What's that mean?
It's always good to have experienced guys that have actually been in live game action. So that's great. He can talk to the guys and tell them what to look forward to. He hasn't been. I mean, he has been there before, so the bright lights won't scare him. I'm hoping. And then, like I said, he's a smart person, so he can play numerous amount of positions for us. So we'll look to move him around to give him the best opportunity to be successful.
The way offenses are, especially now in college football, has it changed the way you kind of have to play D-line, especially in a conference like this?
You got to have it goes back to the rotation. You got to have a few guys that can go in there and spare guys at any moment and just keep a constant rotation.
Matt and Coach Snow have both said it generally takes about a year to pick up this defense.
Yeah.
How's the learning curve right now?
Those guys are working at it. Like you say, every day you just got to find 5 minutes, find 10 minutes, find 20 minutes. Just find some time to just go over your work. Like I said, it's your oath. We tell our guys you got to know and do your job. So they're working at that every day and trying to be better at knowing and doing their job and executing it.
You've been with Coach Snow for a little bit now. What's it like working for him?
Like I said, he's a genius. I learned a lot from Coach Snow. He's a great man to work for. He cares about family, treats us like family. And like I said, I learned so much from him just being around him.
Very good.